Your class on accounting and all that will be instead of today, it will be done tomorrow at 11 to 1. And today I'll be taking class 11 to 1, artificial intelligence. Well, all the best. Let us start the class. Is everybody there? Okay. Today we'll start with mining data streams. So this is the data streams model for data stream processing, then data stream management, queries, and all the examples and issues and challenges, etc. And then we'll study the data sampling in data streams, filtering of data stream and blue filters, and algorithm to count different elements in a stream. So this is the project unit of this. So we have different distance measure. We have done distance measure. We have done technique were discussed to uncover hidden patterns in big data. Or there are certain applications like satellite communication data, sensor data, etc., which produce a continuous stream of data. So you have to now look into the satellite information or the telecommunication data, sensor data, because sensors are sending the information in a stream form. The satellite is continuously sending the data and all that. So that type of thing, how do you handle that? So this is the define the characters of data stream, discuss model of data stream processing, explain the uses of data stream, etc., etc. This is what is given. So what is data stream? As we said, satellite and sensor data is the data stream. This data file system from where user can access the data. Now satellite data वो stream आती जा रही है, उसको कहाँ store करना है, how do you store it, how do you keep it, and how do you explore and use it? That's what is being done. So thus mining data stream is a process to extract knowledge in real time. So from the satellite or from the sensor data, how do you get the knowledge or the information or the wisdom which there? Because you have the series of data, data leads to information, information leads to knowledge, knowledge leads to wisdom. So we are talking of up to going up to knowledge stage. So model for data stream, for example, this is data, so T1, T2 and all that. This is the data. All these are sliding windows are there and sliding, all these the data is there. It's a decreasing model for data stream, weight decreasing and all that. So that type of thing. Landmark model, so sliding window model, damped model, all these are important. So these are damped model is also called time fading model as it assigns more weight to the recent transaction in data stream, and this weight keeps on decreasing with age. Because for example, satellite and sensor information which is recent has the maximum weight, whereas as it becomes old, its weight becomes less and less and all that. So depth. So data stream management, it's a difference. There is a difference between data management system and data stream management system, because DBMS is a normal thing which we have studied and all that, but DSMS, which one we are studying in the big data, that's where you have to look into it. So DBMS is self-associated with the management of database, SQL there is this. But DSMS, the management cannot control the rate of input. For example, the search queries that arrives at Google search engine are generated by random people. Everywhere, all over the world, people are using Google GPS getting information, getting some location you are going, or all these things. So therefore, these are not there. So the stream management system extracts knowledge from multiple databases, multiple data streams by eliminating undesirable elements. Because if you are going from Merit to Lodi Road, so it doesn't conflict with Merit to Pragati Maidan. So it simply looks up Merit to Lodi Road. So that type of thing is there. So that, and then it will say where there are the more red lights or where more traffic is there, and it will say this line is better line. You take this route map, and that's what it is. So that type of thing which is there. So these are the data stream management system. This is A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, and all that. And then ultimately it comes from this. This is the data stream, and knowledge is introduced. So these are the ad hoc queries. This is the data stream, standing queries, stream processor, ad hoc queries, output stream, and archival storage, the dump data and all that. You see, recent data will have a higher value, higher weight. As the time passes, the weight will reduce and all that. So this is working storage. So these are the things which are done in the data stream analysis. So this is the detailed view of the data stream management system. Processor. The processor is the software that executes the queries on the data stream. And stream entering, there can be several streams entering at the system, which come from the satellite, from the sensors, from everywhere. Output, the system makes output in response to the standing queries. जो आप क्वेश्चन जो आते हैं, जो डील करते हैं, उसको ad hoc queries आते हैं. Then archival storage, there is a massive archival storage, as you have seen. This is a massive archival storage. ये yellow जो block है, this is a massive storage place there. It's zettabyte, terabyte, and all that. So archival storage, then limited working storage. ये जो कंटिन्यूस यूज होता है, लिमिटेड वर्किंग स्टोरेज जो कि कंटिन्यूस यूज होता है, इसमें यहाँ से सारी इंफॉर्मेशन, यहाँ से इंफॉर्मेशन, ये सब, दिस इज वर्किंग स्टोरेज. और उसको बहुत यूज होता है, दिस इज फाइनाइट, एंड आर्काइवल स्टोरेज इज इनफाइनाइट, ह्यूज, विच इज देयर. So queries of data stream, ad hoc queries, कोई भी हर किस्म की क्वेरी हो सकती है. इट कैन बी एड हॉक टाइप. स्टैंडिंग क्वेरीज, जो रेगुलर क्वेरीज चलती रहती है. एंड देन डेटा स्ट्रीम के माइनिंग क्वेरीज स्ट्रीम. The first example is the query stream and a search engine like Google. For instance, Google Trends wants to find out which search queries are much more frequent today than yesterday. These queries represent issues of rising public interest. So, अगर आपको मार्केट की क्वेरी ज़्यादा है, ट्रांसपोर्ट की क्वेरी ज़्यादा है, टूरिज्म की क्वेरी ज़्यादा है, all these things are well done from this. Then mining click streams. So इसमें क्या, click streams are another source of very rapid input. A site like Yahoo has many millions of users each day, and every user probably clicks a dozen times or more. So all the click करता है तो उससे queries मिलते हैं. So that type of this is the mining click streams. And IP packets can be monitored at a switch. So internet protocol packets can be monitored at a switch. So agar internet queries hai, all these things there, internet is required and all these things. So so this information could be used to advise the switch and best routing for a packet to detect a denial of service attack. कोई ये जो बैड है पर अटैक आती है, DOS, डिनियल ऑफ सर्विस, उसको केयरफुल करते हैं कि इट शुड नॉट अफेक्ट योर क्वेरी थिंग्स एंड ऑल दैट, बिकॉज डिनियल ऑफ सर्विस आप Somebody is hacking your thing and putting the denial of services there. So that attack should be avoided and all. Issues and challenge of data stream, so that you can see input tuples, arrival rate, critical calculations, and all these things are required. Data sampling in a data stream. How do you sample the data? First, the sample should be unbiased. Second, the sample, देखो बेटे, total data है, उसमें sample लेना है. So sample should be ideal, representing the whole family, whole data. उसमें से सैंपल ऐसे अगर मिनिमम स्मॉल पर्सन से सैंपल कर लिया, जब बिग सैंपल कर लिया तो वो तो गलत हो जाएगा. सो सैंपल शुड बी रिप्रेजेंटिंग होल फैमिली एज इट इज, होल बॉडी से सैंपल प्रोसेस कर रहा है. So preserve the answer to the inquiry that you may like to ask about the data. So data sample selection is a very important thing. Thus, you require a method that preserves the answer to the query. So the query जो आपकी होगी है, it should represent the whole data. That sample data should be such selected so that it carries the whole data. The characteristics of whole data is there. Okay. So one of the sampling technique that can be used for data stream to answer the queries may be randomly select 1/10th of the stream. For example, if you want to know what fraction of such queries are a single word query, you can compute that fraction using 1/10th sample of the data stream, etc., etc. So these are the type of the thing which you have to do the sampling. The representative sample, in this we have to find the fraction of unique search queries. जो queries आ रही हैं वो किस sample से होती है, कैसे sample करना है. So we know the length of the sample is 10% of the length of the whole stream. So that type of thing. Suppose a query is unique in the data stream, it has only 1/10th of chance of being selected for the sample. अगर query unique है, it's very very small chance that it will be selected. However, suppose a search query appears exactly twice in the whole stream, the chance that first occurrence will be selected for the sample is 10%, and the second will not second occurrence will not be selected is 90%. So multiply these and we have 9% chance of this query occurrence being unique in the sample. So on, you can see this. Okay, these are the sampling queries and all that. You can read that, you can study it. Then sampling key value pairs. For idea which has been explained with the help of an example given above is really an instance of general ideas. So that we are trying to look at the general idea of this and all that. So a data stream can be any form of key value pair. You can choose sample by picking random key set of desired size and take all key value pairs whose key falls into the accepted set regardless of the associated value. So these are the type of this that can. In our example, the search query itself was the key with no associated value. In general, we select our sample by hashing key only. The associate value is not part of the argument of the hash function and so on and so forth. Example, salary range. Assume that a stream range, tuple, this and all that. Salary range तो इतने से इतना है, कौन सा होगा, staff है, the senior person, the bureaucrats are, this is there. All these things are important from there because salary range in the office varies from staff to the higher manager to the general manager to all type of things. So, and type of organization you are working, that makes all the difference. So stream data, tuple, EMPID, department and salary, that type of thing. Query, what is the average salary range within a given department? So average from top to bottom करना है, तो उसको average लेना है. So that again you will see from the lowest level to the highest level divided by 2 and that type of thing which happens. So this is the simple. Then filtering of data stream. So bloom filter जो होता है, bloom filter enables us to select only those items in the stream that are on some list or a set of items. In general, bloom filter is used for cases where the number of items on the list or set is so large that you cannot do a comparison of each stream element, which element of the list are checked the set membership. Need of bloom filter, आप देख लीजिएगा. So web crawler, this all type of thing, you can read this and then see that. नंबर ऑफ यूआरएल आर एक्सट्रीमली लार्ज. आप देखो अब इतने वेब पेजेस बन रहे हैं. पहले तो 90s में तो 256 के बाइट इंटरनेट आता था. अब तो इंटरनेट गीगाबाइट से भी ज़्यादा आ रहा है. इवन ऑन मोबाइल यू गेट गीगाबाइट ऑफ इंटरनेट. So there are a lot of web pages being produced very frequently by every organization. You are producing, you maybe some of students might be having their own web page and blog and all these things. So number of URL are extremely large that way. So therefore, every time a URL is to be selected, this would be very time consuming process. Therefore, you need a Bloom filter. So Bloom filter can help you to select a particular URL and all that. When a URL arrives in a stream, pass it through a Bloom filter. This filter will determine if the URL has already been visited or not. So on so forth. You can see that. So if the filter says it has not been visited earlier, the URL will be added in the list and URL need to be crawled. And eventually it will be assigned to some crawl task and so on so forth. Working of Bloom filter. Bloom filter itself a large array of bits, perhaps several times as many bits as there are possible elements in this stream. So that type of thing which will continue. So now when a stream element say x arrives, we compute the value of ht for each hash function h that are to be used for Bloom filtering and so on. So example of Bloom filters आप पढ़ लीजिए. This is there. So Bloom filter array index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 and Bloom filter 0, 0, 0, so on. So that you can find if, as we said, if URL has already arrived, so there is 10%. If second time it arrived, it is the 90%, it will not be used, so 10 into 9, so it becomes 9% and all these things. That type of thing they are there. So there you can see x is equal to 25, binary equation, hx and all these things you can get. Bloom filter content after inserting hash value of 25. So देखो वो बन जाता है. And so on. You can see Bloom filter content after inserting hash value 159. Bloom filter by adding 100, which is 585, which is again put in the binary numbers and all that. So that type of thing which are there, look up elements, y is equal to 1 by 18 and all these things. You can just see that, so you can see the thing very clearly. Algorithm to count different elements in stream. So pick a hash function h that maps each of an element of the data stream to at least log n bits. So each stream A, let RA be the number of trailing zeros in HA. So that type of thing, R, record R, the maximum RA, and so on so forth. You can see that number, binary representation, position of the rightmost set of this, and so on. You can see that all the things you can look into it and then you summarize it. So that's the type of thing which is we have done this quickly. The algorithm count different all them. So basically important thing is it's not DBMS, it is DSMS because it is a stream of data comes from the satellite or sensors. For example, aircraft, when it takes a flight from Delhi to New York, sends billions of data. Every second it keeps on sending data and all that. That's also data stream. Sensors are sending the data. Then the satellite, once satellite, it keeps giving you the weather, it gives you the temperature, it gives you so many things there. So these are streams of data, and you need to look up at the stream of the data. You have an infinite archival, then finite in archival, on which you can have the queries and all that. So then you need Bloom filter so that you know how to use it and all that. So these are the things which are been discussed in this unit. Is it okay? Any question? All right, you read it, then we'll send in. You can visit me sometime in Merit. We can discuss this and all that. Okay. Shall we go to next? This is link analysis. Unit 11. Again, let me tell you that today I am taking class 11 to 1 on artificial intelligence, which was supposed to be happening tomorrow at 11 to 1, because today's class is for the accounting and all that. That gentleman will take the class instead of today, he'll take the class on Sunday. I'll be taking the class today. Okay. See, the link analysis and this chapter, page ranking, and all these things is a very interesting subject, and that is important for big data analysis. So that can be looked up very carefully. See, this is link analysis, page ranking, different mechanism for finding page ranks, different mechanism of finding page rank, web structures and associated issues, use of PageRank in search engine, PageRank computation using MapReduce. MapReduce आप कर चुके हो पहले, and sensitive page ranking, link spam, hubs and authority, and so on. Summary. So this is the page ranking, because the previous unit of this block we have gone through the concept of measuring the distance, difference algorithm, handling data streams, etc., etc. We have seen that. So now MapReduce programming paradigm over the distributed file system. This unit discusses several of these algorithms. So this defines link analysis, use graph to perform link analysis, explain computation of page rank, discuss different techniques for uh, computation of page rank, and use map reduce this. So now introduction to link analysis. Link analysis is a data analysis technique used to in a network theory to analyze the link, because links are the graphs. These are the graphs are used everywhere, for example, in social media networks such as Facebook, Twitter, etc. Purpose of link analysis. Purpose of link analysis to create connections in a set of data that can actually be represented as a network or the network of information. For example, in internet, computers or routers communicate with each other, which can be presented as a dynamic network. Representing of www as a graph. www can be represented as a directed graph. So that's where, so you can, this will again, hyperlink relationship can be used to create a network of the web pages. Page ranking, this is important. How do you give the page rank? Which page is strong and all that? So what is the score of the graph and all that? So for example, this is a figure which shows, for example, here, see this page, page B is linked up with so many others. It's linked up with all these, so it has a 40% weight. Whereas the other smaller one are having small links with that, so that they don't have they have very small power. But this blue is linked up with B, C is linked up with B because B is a very powerful. So C, since there is a single link, it is not linked to other small one. So it is 36%. Whereas the B is linked to all these. You see. B is linked to D, B is linked to E, B is linked to 2%, 2%, 2%, and all these things small. So this is what makes the the node B has a very high page rank score because it has a lot of other pages pointing to it. So the pointing towards the node makes it stronger. This node C is also has a relatively high page rank score, even though it receives only a single incoming link that is from B, but B is big. So the very small people, purple colored link nodes have relatively small page rank score as it pointed by a web page that has a low page rank. The page rank score of a node D is higher than the page rank node A because D points to A. Because here D points to A. D points to D points to A. That's what is showing. So that's yeah. So that's why D has a more link and all that. So, because these are all pointing to all small ones are pointing toward this. So that makes this B as a very powerful, strong, and D is B, C, D, A, then E, all these things. The page rank score of node D is higher than page rank node of A because D points to A. The node E has a kind of intermediate page rank score and E points to B, so on. Because E points to B, so it has a it gets more power from there. So different mechanism of finding page rank, different mechanism of finding page rank. You can see that each link is considered as a vote. ये हर एक लिंक से कितना वोट मिला है उसको, जैसे हम कंसिडर करते हैं वोटिंग के लिए इंपॉर्टेंस गिवन वोट इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ सोर्स वेब पेज. Suppose there is a page J with with the importance Rj. The page J has a outgoing link. This importance Rj of page J basically gets split on all its outgoing link. So that's where you can say this Rj आर जे, ये जे है, आर जे इज आर आई ओवर टू, ये आर आई बिकॉज इट्स पॉइंटिंग टू दिस आर आई ओवर टू एंड आर के बाई थ्री. कोई और जो है ये सारे आ रहे हैं, ये तीन है एक, तो उससे आर इसके के एक दो तीन, तो आर के बाई थ्री से होता है. जे में यहाँ से आर आई बाई टू, आर के बाई थ्री यहाँ होता है. सो इसमें ऐसे ही चलता रहता है. इसमें आर जे बाई थ्री, दिस इज आर जे बाई थ्री, आर जे बाई थ्री. तो इसको आर जे बाई थ्री आता है, आर जे बाई थ्री आता है, आर जे बाई. So that where you can see the things are happening. यहाँ से on J it comes R I upon 2, from K it comes R K by 3 because एक दो तीन है, इसमें दो है, इसमें दो है, इसमें एक, इसमें भी यहाँ से तीन आती है, एक दो तीन. So that's where it is R J by 3, R J by 3, R J by 3 because all the three are being trended here. ठीक है. Flow model. A has a self link and then it points to B. B points to A and C points backward to B. So that you can see that you can. Let us see this example. Now A has A by 2 and B by 2. So RA is RA by 2, RB by 2. RA because it is a self, it's a self on this, so RA by 2, And then it is B is also pointing towards the RB by 2. Or then B, because RA by 2, and this is RC, only C, RA by 2 plus RC. And RC is RB by 2. That's all. Because that covers up all the things. So these are the a very simple web graphs all this. So you can see that it is a own this RA by 2 and RB by 2. So that's type of thing which are this RA by 2 plus RC RB by 2. So that type of thing which are represented. These are the things representing there for this. Use a page rank in search engines. So you know that importance of page J on web graph is the sum of the importance of page I that point to it divided by outgoing degree of I node. This can be represented using the following equation. So that is type of thing. Rj is equal to R. So I is equal to J and I. So that type of thing which you can do. So RA is R D by 2, R जैसे वो पहले करा था 3 by 2 and all these things. So RD is RD by 2 and all that. So that type of thing as node E has a link from node D which has two outlinks and all that. यहाँ से ये देख लीजिए the- अगर ये D है D has link with E and with C and A. So D has a link with A and B and C. It has also link with B also because B is also pointing toward this. A is also pointing toward this. C is not pointing toward this, but D is pointing towards C. So that type of thing. So RD is equal to RA by 3, RB by 2 plus RC. And RE is only RD by 2 because A has node C, E has an in link from node D, which has two. The in link from node D, this is E. Oh, this is E, sorry. This is E. This has in link from D only. It has in link from D only, which has two outlinks. D has this and this has two outlinks. एक ये, एक ये. This is outlink. ये in link है. This is outlink. So R E is RD by 2 because this is D is the input है. So इसके outlink ये दो. So that and you can say RD has node D has in links from node A, node B, and node C. D has in link from node A, node B, and node C. In link है. Okay. So RA by 3, RB by 2, and RE. So that's it. Type of thing. This is single because it doesn't have outlink there. So that type of thing which you can see that is a directed graph with 5 nodes. Okay, that you can see that. See, it's a matrix बना लो, then you solve it and continue. This is the various thing R4, R1, but all these are calculated there. Here is the first question. Does the equation 1 converge? ये equation जो 1 है, does it converge? ये जो equation है, does it converge? So you have to see that it So here is the first question. Does the equation 1 converge? We multiply the matrix M with R to compute R iteratively from an initial approximation in the page rank that can be initialized randomly. The algorithm will update it until convergence. Imagine a very simple graph as shown in figure 5. ये figure 5 है. So this is A and B. Very simple spider trap problem is there. So here is the second question. Does the equation 1 converge to what we want? तो एक तो converge होना चाहिए. एक it should converge to the level, to the stage, to the form which we want. So let us consider a very simple graph as shown figure 6. Figure 6 में देख लीजिए A is B is there. So that this graph. So here there are two nodes, node A and B, and one edge. Here A starts with score 1 and B starts with score 0. So the matrix M1 is 0, 1, 0, 0. Ri is this, and R2 is this, and so on. The first multiplication with matrix M, the score gets flopped, flipped, that is one by one. But in the second step of multiplication, it basically the score of one gets lost. Thus, A and B are not able to pass the score to anyone else. So the score gets lost. And we converge to the vector 0, which is a problem. So spider trap and dead end problem, उसमें ये आ जाता है dead end problem में. So that it, this is spider trap. उसी में घूमता रहता है. जैसे स्पाइडर का होता है वो ट्रैप में आ जाती है, इधर ही घूमता रहता है. और और डेड एंड यहाँ हो जाता है. So that type of thing. So you can say in the spider trap problem, outlinks from web page can form a small group in as in figure 7. Basically, the random walker and get trapped in a single part of the web page graph, and then the random walker will get indefinitely stuck. ऐसे ही घूमता रहेगा continuously. So they're very high weight, and every other page will get very low weight. So this is called the problem of spider trap. Solution to spider trap problem. So random teleports होते हैं. Random walk is known as a random process which describes a path that includes a succession of random steps. Figure 8A shows this is random this is random trial. This is random. So solution to dead end problem. This so the way we can think of this now is that we have a random walker that whenever a random walker arrives to a new page, flip the coin, and if the coin say yes, the random walker will pick another link at random and walk that link. And if the coin says no, then the walker will randomly teleport, basically jump to some other random page on the web and so on and so forth. So that वो जो जैसे tossing the coin कि yes or no करना है उसी का because you are using artificial intelligence yes or no. So that type of thing which is there. So this means that the random walker will be able to jump out or teleport out from a spider track within only a few time steps. After a few time steps, the coins will say yes, let us teleport, and the random walker will be able to jump out of the trap. So this is so jumping out of the trap. Random teleporter approach 2. So that's the type of thing. Solution to dead end problem, always teleport. So ये देखिए teleport हो गया. Okay, always teleport approach. So that type of thing which get page rank computation using MapReduce, so that you can see the data slave and master. This is the slave is there. So from there, so you see this one process data, process data, process data, process data. This is a masterpiece. So that the moving processing unit to the data. So processing unit को data के पास ले जाओ. The moving data to the processor unit. So this is what the slaves, because slaves are being used for process data and all that. The client, the slave can be considered as client, and client can be considered as slave. Mapping, input split, shuffling, reducing. These are the things which are the, for example, you see this input is there. This is splitting, mapping, shuffling, reducing, and ये shuffle कैसे हो रहा है? हर एक को shuffle हो रहा है ये इधर जा रहे हैं, ये इधर जा रहे हैं, सारे सारा हर जगह में shuffle होके स्ट्रक्चर बन रहा है. यहाँ से फिर स्टेट स्ट्रीम हो जाता है. देन बिग डेटा सेमी structured 1312 and all that. So list K3 KB, K2 K2 V2 K1 V1 K2 V2 K2 list V2, and so that K1 K3 V3. So that's the one which your final result is. So this is the main process by which it is done. Big data, structured data, semi-structured data, big data, structured data, semi-structured data, mapping, shuffling, all this data, shuffle this and introducing, reducing this data, and then coming for this. So this is data one, two, three, and so on. So semi-structured, structured. This is structured. This is semi-structured. This is data three, data big one. So this is the big one, data one, semi-structured, structured. So that type of the thing which does. Is it clear? So that from it has structured and semi-structured data, because big data always have a semi-structured data. So structured data, so it breaks up big data, structured data, semi-structured data, and then break up here, and then break up here, break up here, and then ultimately is, so that you have semi-structured data, structured data, big data. So that you have everything available now, so that your result is in a good shape, so they can use it and all that. So this is a program to do this. You can look at it. This is Python. Check your progress. This is a topic sensitive page rank 1, 2, 3, 4. This is all link up and all that. ये डबल लिंक है, ये डबल लिंक है, बाकी सिंगल लिंक है. Link spam. So link spamming is a deliberate activity to boost the score of the web page position in the search engine. Spam में कौन से डालोगे, कौन से डालोगे. So search engine would crawl the web to collect the web pages. It would then index the web pages by the words they contain, and then whenever somebody searched it, it will come further. So this is the type of thing which will happen. Imagine that a spammer has just started a business and he has made a website. He wants that search engine should give preference to his web page as it is his commercial interest. The spammer wants to exploit the search engine and make sure that people go and visit his web page. So कैसे करता है? So spammer wants his web page to appear as high on the web search ranking as possible, regardless of whether the page is really relevant to a given topic or not, as driving traffic to a website is good. So the spammer did this by using technique called the link spam. The following example illustrate this thing. There is a t-shirt seller. She creates a web page and wants that her web page is seen by everybody. So interested her everybody. So this online seller can insert the word theater. तो थिएटर तो सब देखना चाहेंगे. So 1,000 times in the web page. How can this be done? In the early days of the web, you would have a web page which can be top of the page, had the legitimate text, and at the bottom page, which on the bottom page, their seller inserts a huge list of words theater. This list would use the same text color of those words as that the color of the background. So these words would not bother the user who comes to the web page. When, of course, somebody will run a query for a word theater, this web page will not give anything. Theater ko chai nahi isme. So theater and this page get it ranked high. This and similar technique to this one are called term spam. Somebody will run a query for the word theater. So this web page would appear to be all about theater, and this page gets its ranked high. So spam form were developed to concentrate page ranks on a single page. For example, a t-shirt seller creates a fake set of web pages and they all link to his own web page, etc. Number of web pages that link it. Google came up with the solution to combat like link spam, according to Google, rather than believing what the page says about itself. Let's believe what other people say about the page. This means to look to the words on the other text and its surrounding text. The anchor text is the web page containing words. So this is the type of thing so that Google has made the life of spammer easier. The next sector discussion the hubs and authorities. So this is again the basic idea. Hubs and authority model is that every web page assigns two scores, not just one, as in the case of PageRank algorithm. One type of score is called hub, and other is called authority score. So these are the type of two score. The hub and authority based algorithm is used HITS algorithm, which is the hypertext induced topic selection. HITS, hyper hypertext induced topic selection. HITS algorithm is it. So that type of thing you can go through. Class of office. This is the hub. This is the authority site hub, and so this is the type of thing which you can hub and authority. Class of hub where pages linked to good authorities or list of good things on the web. So is the newspaper example. These are my favorite newspapers, and that page would link to them. The hits algorithm thus minimizes the problem due to leak spam, and user would be able to get good result as a high ranking pages. So that type of thing which is so this covers up the link page. Is it okay? Do you study before coming to the class? Do you look up the material? Anybody? Nobody. No response. All right. We continue with the next unit. Web and social network analysis. Shall we continue? Okay, all right. Analytics, advertising on the web, because after all, web you should make so beautiful with advertisement and colorful way, so that everybody comes to your website, and then you gain everything, because your, if it is a marketing, if it is a e-commerce, or anything which you are doing to do it, it is study material or whatever it is there, so that you are able to look at it. So the advertising on the web, the issues, the algorithm, recommendation system, the long trail, the model, content-based recommendations, mining social network as graph, varieties of social networks, distance measure of social network graphs, clustering of social network graphs, and then summarize it. So, so this gone through various methods of analyzing the big data and all that. We have seen that. So next, this unit discusses the concept of a recommender system. A recommender system is needed, and there is a abundance of choice of products and services. तो देयर हैज टू बी पर्सन, ऐसे जैसे कोई रिकमेंड करता है फलानी शॉप पर जाइएगा, इस तरह वेब पेज पर भी रिकमेंडर सिस्टम होना चाहिए, वो से गो टू दैट वेब पेज एंड यू कैन गेट द beautiful information or whatever you want. Or if you are interested to study AI, I recommended recommended web page will say you go to such and such page of such web page where you will get a lot of information, and you can appear in the tests and all these things. You can get certificate of AI and all this. All these things are important. Therefore, a customer may need certain suggestions. A recommender system attempts to give recommendations to customer based on their past choices. So that's the type of thing. So define the issue relating to the advertisement on the web. Explain the process of solving the ad word problem. Define the term long tail in the context of recommenders system. Explain the model of recommendation system and use the utility metrics. Implement a mode, a mode for content-based recommendation. Define the use of graph for social network, and define clustering in the context of social network graph. So, so web analytic, we have seen that. So a web page consists of large number of sections or divisions or fragments. So all these are need to be this. For user location and identification of user such as IP address if permitted, the time spent by user on the website, and the pages and section accessed by user during his or her stay at the website, number of users who are accessing, and all these things are important. This you can go through that. So that advertising on the web, advertising is one of the major source of revenue for many professionals like television, newspaper, etc. See, so television has the advertisement, and so are the newspaper. And television charge much higher value than the newspaper. So that so, and web page again has a higher value, but web page don't charge that much of amount for the advertisement as the TV and other movies and all that. So the issues, in order to define the issues related to the web advertisement, so let's discuss the different ways of placing advertisement on the web. So these are the different, historically the advertisement were placed on the website as banners. So banner laga do. So click ratio, then the advertisement was placed as a result of such term. Advertisers are asked to bid for placing an advertisement on the result of the search term or keyword. Advertisements are displayed which advertisement when that search engine displays the result of the specific search term. The advertisers are charged if a displayed advertisement is clicked once. So that type of thing are there. So अब कई स्पेशल फीचर भी करते हैं कि कोई गेम शुरू कर देंगे जिससे आपको टोकन मनी मिलेगा और वो उसके साथ एडवर्टाइज हो जाएगी एंड सो ऑन सो दैट a consequence of stream of queries. Say the sequence of keyword queries Q1, Q2, Q3, etc. For each type of query, several items have put their bids. Let's say that M bids are placed on each type of query, say B1, B2, etc. The probability of clicking on it is shown for a query, say P1, P2, and so on. You can see that. So the objective of the problem is select the subset of the advertisement to be displayed on arrival of a query, which maximize the profit of the search engine. So output is the size of the selected subset is advertisement should be equal to T. The advertiser of the selected advertisement has made a bid for that type of query. In case the highest advertisement is selected, then the budget left should be more than bid amount. BI is greater than or equal to BI. So this is the algorithm. आप देख लीजिए. Yeah, this is the algorithm. And आगे you can see there is a table and then recommendation system recommender आ जाता है. So add word problem. What is the need for recommender system? You consider you have to buy some products from a very large list of products as shown in figure 3. There is a large set of items are there. Which one to buy? See, so the need for recommendation system. So in case you are looking for an item for a very large set of items, say 1,000, and your requirements are not very well specified, then rather than searching for that kind of item, you may like suggestions about the item from some known person. The recommender system does the job as it recommends the product which may be needed by you based on the information known to the system about you. So that type of thing is there. Long tail. So this is uh, become popular. This can be attributed to the web-based marketing of this and all that. So these low-demand products are also very large in number and can be, as in shown in Figure 4. This is the product save and long tail. So this is a long tail product and this is a common product. So these are the products which are long tail products which also has a lot of money value added into the system. Model three basic type of recommending system. Recommendation by editors, critics, staff. This is the simplest kind of recommendation system which are in existence for a long time. So aggregate recommendation. Such information is aggregated from the various users on customer activity. For example, the most popular video or the most purchased product or highly rated services, etc. So these are the things which are given. For example, आज मूवी देखने के लिए है तो मूवी के रिव्यू से वो कहेगा ये मूवी बहुत अच्छी है, यहाँ बहुत अच्छा अच्छा जो यहाँ फिलॉसफी बहुत अच्छी है, यहाँ जो स्टार आर ब्यूटीफुल, म्यूजिक इज ब्यूटीफुल, सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. और इफ देयर इज ए सम प्रोडक्ट फैशन चेंज हो रहा है, गर्मियाँ आ रही है तो गर्मियों में फैशन चेंज होता है तो उसके लिए आपको अच्छी अच्छी show the shirts and t-shirts and the pants and all that which says it is a reduced prices and all that. So that type of things are there recommended. User specific recommendation. These recommendations are specifically being made for a specific user based on his or her past wish. तो पहले वो कैसे यूज करते थे, कैसे आप how you were going for buying the things and all that, what type of dress you are using. So that type of thing will come as a recommendation for this. So these are the given a set of users for our customers say as who has given some rating and to some of the purchase product services. So rating the area this is this particular product is a wonderful product or it's a useless product. So these are the two extreme qualifications. But then from there, you can pick up what type of product the fellow would need. A set of product or service, say P, being sold or provided by the web application. A set of rating for every pair of customers and all that. So you can see that. So these are the things, P1, P2, C1, C2 and all that. So a sample utility metric, 3 customer and 5 products on a 0 to 5 star rating. So this is 5 star rating, this is the 1, 0, these are the zeros rating and all that. So that type of thing from there you can see one रेटिंग 5 सिर्फ इसकी है तो उसके हिसाब से you can work out. These are the things that are content-based recommendation. This content-based recommendation system is designed to recommend product service to a customer based on the his or her earlier highly rated recommendation. Some of the commonest examples of a content-based recommendation systems are the recommendation of movies, research articles, friends, etc. For example, if you highly recommend a movie, then the content-based recommendation system is likely to recommend movies of similar actors or genres. Similarly, if you highly rate a research article, the content-based recommendation system will recommend research articles of similar contents or nature. How is such a recommendation made? Figure 6 does this. ये देखिए इस फिगर 6 में वो बताया हुआ है कि कैसे कैसे रिकमेंडेशन करते हैं. This is letter put in. So it says customer like product and services, make profit, make profile of product and all that, make customer profile, recommend customer profile. So ये तीन चीजें जो है. So some of the commonest example of content-based recommendations are recommended a movie, research articles, friends. अब friends के लिए भी कह रहा है कि आप डेटिंग के लिए कर रहे हो, कैसे कर रहे हो, सिंगल हो, मैरिड हो, क्या हो. All these things are simple utility metrics, simple product feature metrics, utility metrics for 5-point rating and all these things. These are the things that mining social network. सोशल नेटवर्क में आ जाता है all the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn and all that. In general, on social media, people from connection with one another. For example, friends on Facebook, one of the key questions that may be asked related to social media. अब वही है ना कि आप फेसबुक में फ्रेंड तो बनाते हैं लेकिन लड़का लड़की बन गया, लड़की लड़का बन गया तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा ना. That's what we have seen so many things happen. Or a person who is 20 years says he is 70 years, or 70-year person says he is 20 years, and so on and so forth. Wrong information, continue playing with it. जैसे कई एग्जाम्पल में बताया है कि the wife and husband, wife made another Facebook for herself and then started talking to her husband because her husband was saying he has no other affair with anybody else. So she wanted to prove that he has affairs. So then she continued talking. After a month or so, she came that I have found you are having a Facebook friend there, and this is what I am there. So the person admits, and then they become friends again. So that type of things, which are either they can become divorced, they can become good friends once again. So that type of thing, which are the mining of social media network are in more detail. Social networks as a graph. ये ग्राफ के जो सोशल नेटवर्क है, कॉलेज फ्रेंड्स, फैमिली एंड अदर फ्रेंड्स, working people are there. These are the people whom you make friends and all that. So, a social media network graph. Varieties of social networks are there. So, different kinds of social networks. Most of these networks are used for sharing personal or official information. Some of the basic categories of the networks are these are the basic category 1, 2, 3, 4. The traditional social network mainly used for sharing information, social review or discussion of blogging network. Such network create a node for the user and make link of two users, and image or video sharing network. Follower may be linked to a host in the network and show the so all these things are there. Good and bad things are happening with the network. So you have to be careful when you are using the network so that you are very clear what you are trying to look at the network and what you are doing it. You should be very specific. You should understand the importance, the significance of the hacking and significance of the proper network. Good friendship is wonderful thing, but bad friendship is a bad thing. That's a type of thing. Distance measure of social network graphs. As discussed in the previous section, social media network can be represented using graphs. So that was two node A and B. This is distance AB. Distance AB is infinity. If there is no direct link from A to B, it is infinity. If there is a link from A to B, it is distance. So on. You can see. Customer or social networking graph. The social media network consists of very large number of nodes and all that. So these are the given a social network graph, the objective of the problem, the process, and this is the social network graph G, V, A, and all that. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So that type of the thing you can see that. Yes, we have. So this mostly covers the work which we wanted to study today. So tomorrow, what we are talking of big data is basically a programming on R. R programming was started for with the statistical information because in big data, machine learning is used. Machine learning is again a statistical tool so that from data the statistic or the regression or the type of graph is worked out, and then it is used as a model, and that model is used for the coming data for production purposes. And R programming was started as a part of statistics, but the chi-square test, mean, mode, and all these things. So this was differentiated. R programming became popular, and R programming is being used in the big data in a big manner. So that next four units will be more concentrating on use of R programming and also on machine learning process. So that we'll study later. So be there. I'll get your attendance, and back at 11 o'clock, we'll start with the artificial intelligence. So just hold on. I'll have the attendance. Any question, please?
सर शेयर हो गया आइए सर पढ़ाई आ गया
Okay. Everybody is there?
ये सर एक मिनट देखो आपका हाँ सर सब
Okay.
लोग हैं सर
ठीक है, very good. Okay,
पढ़ाइए सर ठीक है थैंक यू
we will do the first part predicate logic of the artificial intelligence, and then we'll do the next unit also. So I hope you have not studied it. I'll quickly do it, but we'll probably continue with this in the next classes when we have in the next week. So the first order predicate logic FOPL, and semantic of quantifiers, inference of entailment in FOPL. ये क्या हो रहा है? And conversion of colossal form. So resolution and unification. So, for example, there's a following statement: every man is mortal. Raman is a man, hence he is mortal. और इसको रीजनिंग लेके करना है. P is every man is mortal. Q is Raman is man. R Raman is mortal. Once the statement in the argument in English are symbolized to apply tool proposition logic, we just have three symbols P Q R. तो उस P Q R से ही सब कुछ फॉर्म करना है. तो then for that, therefore, we search for symbolic system of reasoning that help us in discussing argument forms of aforementioned type. In addition to those forms which can be discussed within the framework of proposition logic, so that requires first order predicate this and all that. So FOPL. So explain why FOPL is required over and above PL. प्रोग्राम लॉजिक के साथ फर्स्ट ऑर्डर प्रेडिकेट लॉजिक क्यों चाहिए? Define and give appropriate example for each new concept. Check consistency, reduce a given formula to FOPL, and use tools and techniques of FOPL developed in the unit to solve problem requiring logical reasoning, perform unification and resolution mechanism. So this is syntax of first order predicate colleges. That there is a symbol used for existential quantifier, and this is used for universal. Only x, all x. Let us understand the difference between the some more detail. In a variable x is a sentence px involving x that becomes a position when we give x a definite value. Px, qx, etc., etc. If px is greater than 5, then it is not a proposition. But if it is x is equal to 6, is a proposition. But f is equal to 0 is a false proposition. So on, so forth. You get PA going to Patna, but if you say going to Taj Mahal is a false proposition. So on. So we use the symbol. This is ulta E. It's exceptional. Only E x, and this is say only x in UPX, where PX is sentence, X is in the class, and U is the set of the children. So that is one, the X is the child of the PX. So now suppose we take the negative of the proposition we just stated, wouldn't it be that there is no child in the class? So then we could symbolize this as all x in U QX. So that is what we will say, all x in U QX or QX, all x belong to U. As example, use of the quantifier, quantifier, existential qualifier. So this belongs to R, x plus 1 is greater than 0, which is that there exists an x in R for which x plus 1 is greater than 0. Another example is the false statement that there exists a x in N where x minus 1 by 2 is 0, which is read as there exists in x in N for which x minus 1 by 2 is 0. This is the type of thing which was. So that is the, there exists, there total and all these things. This is for total, this is for 1. उल्टा वी पे बीच में काटे के लिए टोटल सब के ऑल एक्स के बात होता है. जो उल्टा ई है वो एग्जिस्टेंशियल क्वांटिटी बोल देते. एग्जिस्टेंशियल क्वांटिटी. Okay, so where U is the center of this. Interpretation in FOL, every man is mortal, Raman is man, hence he is mortal. In order to this is mortal is the man. So let us use the notation. IL is mortal, in is a man. In view of the notation, the argument on paraphrasing becomes for all x, if IN x, then IL x in Raman, hence IL Raman. So that's type of thing. You see, it becomes very straightforward for the questioning of this. Like XY, like within parentheses X comma Y. The Ram like Mohan can be represented by like Ram comma Mohan. Love father, the symbolizes love Mohan's father Mohan. Mohan's father loves Mohan. So thus we have Mohan's father loves Mohan can be written as love within parentheses father within parentheses Mohan comma Mohan. So Mohan's father loves Mohan. That's it. Ram like Ram Mohan and love Father Mohan Mohan are atomic statement of the program logics and all that. Like Ram Mohan and love Father Mohan Mohan are atoms which are greater love like are predicate. So all these are individual symbols, variable symbols, functional symbols, father product, predicate symbol, PQR and all that. So all these are there. A variable is a term, a constant is a term, and so on. You can see that you can okay. There exists a number that is rational. Every rational number is a real number, so that can be expressed in the in notation form. Uh, for every there is an x where the qx for all x qx belong to this and all that type of this stuff. Semantic of a quantifier. This is a proposition function or a predicate in a variable is a sentence px involving x that becomes a proposition when we give x a definite answer. So that type of thing we can read it. Say this. Similarly, if qx is x has gone to Patna, then replacing x by Tajmahal gives us a false proposition, so on and so forth. We use symbol existential to denote the quantifier. There exists. The way we use it, for instance, to write there is at least one child in the class. So X in UPX. This where PX is the sentence, X is the class, and U is the set of all children. So out of the children, there is at least one child in the class and all that. So that type of thing are there. So mathematical symbol for quantifier for all. So this is for all. So the proposition up can be written for all UX, this and all that. So these are the type of things which are continuously there. They are repeating this same thing. These are the both free and bound in formula. Uh, this PXY belongs to UX. So the quantifier EX is the whole of the rest of the formula. This is scope of EX is the given formula PX is QX. So these are the things which are denoted by the various relationships. Are you able to understand that? The difference between existential and for all these. So these are the two things which are important, but then other things will come gradually. Translate the statement: every man is mortal, Raman is a man, therefore Raman is immortal. So this for all man X, mortal X. Raman is a man, mortal Raman. The whole argument can be represented for all X, man X, mortal X, and man Raman and mortal Raman. As a single statement, it gives a simple answer that Raman is a mortal. So for every number, there is one and only one immediate successor. There is no number for which zero is the immediate successor. For every number other than zero, there is only one and one immediate predecessor, etc., etc. So those are for all x, for y, e, y, x, and this is all this. For all z, e, z, b, this, and all that. You can all consider the various examples are there. Well-formed formulae, WFF, again is in each of these all occurrence of variable are bound. Belfort formula which is at least one occurrence of variable is free. So these are the things. These are the following equivalent hold for two formula Px and Qx. We justify 3 and 4. All these are simple examples which you can see and consider that. Inference and entailment in the FOPL. So